Welcome to this bonus episode of Locked On Texas Tech presents Voices from the YouTube comments. We appreciate all of you out there who are subscribing or watching on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss, well, like one of these episodes when you don't know it's arriving. Bonus episode, you'll get that notification if you're subscribed and not miss out on anything. And if you're commenting on YouTube, keep them coming. Some of the comments certainly want to get to here on these bonus conversational episodes as we turn to voices from the YouTube comments. And Chris will get some thoughts here on some of these submissions this time around. Certainly a prevalent topic of conversation so far this season for Texas Tech, unfortunately, because of the quarterback situation, has to do with losing jobs due to injury. This comment on YouTube from Glenn Thomason, who said Spike, as in Spike Dykes, said a starter shouldn't lose his job to an injury. What's Joey's take on that? Chris, do you have any idea about Joey's take? And how do you feel about that general line of logic, I guess?
Yeah, I think things change. Things change during the season. Things change. I mean, they do. Yeah. And I think this is kind of an old school thought. I think some subscribe to it, some don't. I think Joey tells you his thought each week, and he's told you that from the get-go. And that part has never changed. So I think that when he says we're going to start the player that gives us the best chance to win this particular Saturday and insert Saturday here, that's who they're going to start. And it's up to them to kind of, and it doesn't mean they're going to be right every time, but they have all the info that we don't. And that's the way this is going to go. And that's the way it went back to start the season. So that's how Joey feels. And so I don't think he's telling you, hey man, I believe in that theory about you can't lose a player because of or lose a job because of an injury and all that stuff. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's who gives us the best chance to win right now. And you know what, as somebody that Tech is my alma mater, and in case yours too, that's all I would ever want. That's all I would ever ask for is give me the best chance to win, and let's tee it up, man, and let's go, because I'm only here for the win, man. You either win or you lose, and we're here to talk about if you played well and dissect it every which way. But ultimately, at the end of the day, man, did you win or lose? That they keep scoring this stuff, and that's all I'm worried about. So I want the guy out there that gives me the best chance to win, and that's Joey's philosophy.
Yeah, and like the great Al Davis said once upon a time, well, that was a later quote, but before that he said, just win, baby, and that's all we're here to do. Look, there's no line that can be drawn in the sand, Chris. Sometimes there are starting quarterbacks that are entrenched, decades with the franchise. I don't view it so much on the college level, but maybe you've spent 2.5, 3 years as a starter. I mean, you're just leaps and bounds beyond the next option being ready. And you can kind of throw out that comment if that guy gets hurt and say, well, this guy's not going to lose his job due to injury. But you've always got to have that in the back of your mind because you got to win or you don't hang around to continue to make those types of decisions. This is not one of those situations. I mean, there's no reserved spot. And in most situations, I would say that, everyone is kind of on that day-to-day contract, right? All replaceable in most cases. And I don't think you want to draw that line. I haven't really heard that from Coach McGuire, gotten that type of vibe.
And
Some feel that way though.
And I think Tyler Shuck hasn't. Look, if I'm him, I'm probably, and I'm healthy and I'm cleared and I don't get to start. I'm pissed. I mean, it's the competitor in me. I know in a recent media setting, he was out there after practice working out with a variety of wideouts way after practice was over. And they're running routes. He's trying to stay sharp. Ultimately, he wants to play at the next level. And I can't really do that if I'm not out there and showing people what I can do and all those kinds of things. So I get it. But if you're the head coach or you're the offensive coordinator, you have to do what's best for the group. And you have to put the best guy out there. But, I mean, I don't expect Tyler Shuck to be like, hey, man, sure. I mean, will he be professional about it and be a good teammate? Yeah. Yes. But is he probably happy with it? No. But that's not what this is about, man. I mean, you gotta, and it's not like he's played a ton of football here either, to where, you kind of almost want to write his name in pen if he is healthy. I mean, we've seen some bright spots. He's won the job not once but twice, but you know what? The things change. I guess just to circle all the way back, things change. And so, and things may change again. And that's the beauty of having multiple guys that can play that position and play it well.
You went Dwight Yoakam there on me. She said, baby, things change. And I'm doing the snake walk down below, just like Dwight does it. Trust me on that, even though you can't see it. Thanks for the submission and the comment there on YouTube, Glenn. Appreciate you. Next, this is from Raleigh Samford. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, and it's not Raleigh. But if it is, I'm going with that one as well. Here's the message. Fourth down aggression, Chris, is where we are now. The message says, third down conversion is not as big of a deal with a team who goes for it more on fourth. The priority is shifted. Changes the way you call first and second down. If you buy into the fourth down aggression, it affects your entire offensive mentality. I thought that was kind of an insightful perspective, and it kind of rang true to me, I guess, in a way that I hadn't considered.
Yeah, that's why I think before a drive starts, I think Zach Kittley is well aware of kind of some certain aspects of where they can be or the distance they may be aggressive or whatever. But they call this in football terms, or maybe in 2022 football terms, they call it sequencing. And so if it's third and 8. He may simply call something that he knows probably is not going to necessarily get a first down. In other words, I'm going to run all the receivers need to get 9 yards and behind the chains, and so otherwise we're punting it. It may be purposely to only get 4 or 5 or half of that because he knows he's going for it on fourth down, and he's got a good fourth and short play dialed up. But it affects everything if you have that mentality and there's the score is in a certain way, or the time left in the game is a certain way, and all that. I mean, you do call it differently, maybe on first and second down, and certainly third down if you know you're going to be aggressive and go for it in those situations. But yeah, it definitely it's much earlier than okay, should we go for it here or not? You've thought about it way ahead of time, and you called it that way as well.
Sequencing. Look at this bonus episode, and we're learning things. That's why you got to be subscribed so you don't miss something like that. Locked on Texas Tech fans going to be talking sequencing next week. And what are you? Just going to be the bum that doesn't know what they're talking about? Loser. Let's go on to the next one. Thank you, Raleigh. This one from Jason Baumgardner. Curious to hear what you guys think of the QB competition this week. Instead of just getting one QB the reps to get him game ready, tricky, says Jason. What do you think, Chris?
I'd be willing to bet you that one quarterback is getting the majority of the reps as the starter. I think those guys probably all know. I don't think you can legitimately now. Coach Kittley, I think, has done this 3 weeks or so ago when it was okay. We're going to let Barron and Donovan kind of compete, and we'll let, and that was like split when you had 2 guys. There's just simply not enough reps to try to get 3 guys snaps, and I'd be willing to tell you that when you operate with your game plan, you're catering it around who you think will be the starter. And now that you have healthy options, and I think you have a guy kind of rolling right now, he's not really competing. This is my opinion. This is my take. But I'd be willing to bet that everybody already kind of knows who the starting quarterback is, and they've already kind of catered practice to that. I mean, is that a heads up that Tyler Shuck is kind of out there after practice trying to get extra snaps in front of all the media in a media setting? I don't know. I mean, but maybe so. Maybe he's like getting his extra reps in after practice is over. I mean, I don't know that.
Maybe he's the number 2 this week, and he feels like he needs more. I don't know.
That's me speculating. So I don't know, but I'd be willing to bet it's not just hey, we're going to go thirds here with everything. That's just, you can't do that. There's just not enough practice time and not enough reps against the opposition. In when you're trying to run certain plays against certain looks, there's just not enough time.
All right. Hope that was satisfactory for Jason Bugenhoser. Rosenbagger, Runamucker, Baumgardner. Thank you, Jason, for the comment there. Onward. This is from Laura Weiss, who says, hoped for. Now, this is a question I asked in the YouTube comments earlier this week. after the win over West Virginia, what's your season win total projection? Has it changed? Higher, lower, stayed the same? So Laura responds to that and says, hoped for a 6-6 record before the season. Think we can win 8 games. Would love to shock the nation at 11-5. What? Okay. And then she goes on to give us the only kind of IV analysis that you're going to find on Locked On Texas Tech. I mean, this is like, again, subscribe so you don't miss things like this, because now tomorrow people not only going to be talking about sequencing, going to be talking about IV analysis here on this bonus episode, and you don't want to be left out of that conversation. You asked me about an IV, Chris, because we were talking about Baron Morton getting an IV, and Laura goes on to say, I had 2 C-sections. IVs are no fun. To play that well with how Morton was physically was just insane. So did you see that one coming? Thank you for the analysis, Laura.
Yeah, so let's attack these comments first. One, I think I'd be curious to know. Now you're sitting here, at 4-3, and you're 2-2 in the league. I'd be curious what everybody is kind of comfortable with as far as if I told you were going to be 6-6.
Yeah.
Right now, would you take it? Are you rolling dice and saying no? I think we can be better than that, knowing that you could even actually be worse than
I'm shaking them up,
6.
Chris.
I know. See, I mean,
I'd be disappointed
probably,
with 6 right now. To be honest,
I tend to agree with you. I think I'd kind of like to see kind of what you can do, and if you can continue to improve, and see if this quarterback can stay hot, if you can get healthier, with some skill players and things like that. There's no guarantees though, but I think you're only able to actually play, because you're not going to go to the playoffs. So you're only able to play 13 games. So that's probably a typo there on what you're hoping the record would be. But you can still finish what? Let's do the math here. If you're, what would that be? 8-5, 9-5? I guess. Am I doing the math right there? If you go regular season and do, 9-5 would be the best possible outcome if you went out.
I didn't touch that 16-game total because I didn't want to do anybody's math, Chris.
Well, no, I hear you. Yeah,
trying to figure out how the hell we were getting to 16 games.
Yeah, that's right.
But I like it. Why not? Let's go 11-5. Call up McMurray or something.
Yeah, and here I am giving them extra losses. I mean, if you went out, you wouldn't have 5 losses. You'd only have 3.
Hey, I'm sitting in the stands on Saturday, and I'm putting the carts before my horses, thinking 8 wins. 8 wins.
They told me there'd be no math. I'd watch that, but I get what she is saying. I think I've met Laura before at a speaking engagement one time. I think that's right. I think she lives in Austin. Maybe I don't know if that's right or not, but she's really
God bless,
sweet lady. The IV thing though is interesting because I did find out. I think he lost about 6 pounds over the weekend.
Really?
I mean, which. Barron is a decently sized kid, but I mean, anybody drops 6 pounds in a 24-hour period or whatever, you typically just don't feel right. You don't feel like you've got all your energy, and as hot as it was versus the Mountaineers, man. I mean, that's why you hear Joey talking about an IV, because they had to pump some fluid back in him just so he could kind of feel right. But on a couple of bum feet, ankles, and not just bum, but high ankle sprains. Maybe more than one, and then to have a virus of some sort and to lose 6 pounds and have to get IV'd up. Yeah, I mean, some people may think it's soft to give a kid credit for that, but I'm not. I'm not one of those people. I think it's very impressive. Oh, I don't know.
These idiots that are thinking that. No, tell me, Chris, who said that?
Nobody said that, but I'm just
nobody
saying.
with any sense, surely. I mean, good grief. That's kind of an amazing turn of events. It was going to be amazing to see him do what he would have done all the same if it was just like because of what happened the week prior. But forget some of that other stuff going on as you actually get to the weekend. Thank you, Laura, for the comment, for the projection. We'll get those 16 games put together. If you want to do it, I'll throw the weight of Locked On Texas Tech behind it. We'll get 16 played. And thank you for the IV analysis. One more before we are out of here. Hold on there, friends and neighbors. Let's pause so I can tell you about my friends at Flatlands Grain. Your friends at Flatlands Grain, as they are standing by right now to have your back this harvest season. The fur is flying in all directions as you're getting the crops out of the field, and Flatlands Grain is the place that you want to be for your grain storage needs. There's no job too big, too small, whether it's a truckload or thousands of bushels or just something simple like keeping your animals fed. Flatlands Grain is ready and willing. Give them a call today at 806-839-2522 or visit these Red Raiders in Hale Center, Texas, America. Just 30 quick and convenient minutes north of the LBK. They've got market experience, crop analysis experience, and of course, just general backstop experience for farming and ranching families all across the 806 and the high plains of Texas each harvest season, and they're ready for you right now, again, in Hale Center, or give them a call at 806-839-2522 or visit them online right now at flatlandsgrain.com. From our man, Big Jim, James Campbell, who says, listen to you guys every day going to work. I live in the city of the evil burnt orange empire, so y'all definitely make my drive in this traffic tolerable. And I wanted to include this one, Chris, so that we can all spend a moment with James on our minds and in our hearts, thinking about him down in the ATX, and also to confirm to other listeners or viewers out there that the compliments and sucking up will definitely work to get you on a bonus episode of Locked On Texas Tech. So thank you, James, for those kind words, and God be with you, man. Take care.
And yeah, shout out to James. And all kidding aside, that's why these podcasts are beautiful from the standpoint of, we're not just for the people. We are, you and I are both here in Lubbock, man, but this is for people at all parts, and like got commutes and drives and all that. Oh, yeah. And if you want to listen to us going to work at lunchtime, driving home, if you're sitting in traffic, man, we'll try to pass the time with some good Texas Tech talk, man. But we certainly appreciate James for listening and weighing in, even though he's in enemy territory right there. But he's I guarantee you, he's got to be living well these days, man.
No
his
kidding.
His Red Raiders got it done, man.
I know this is about the time I'd actually want to turn on the other team's station. Like, what are these suckers crying over here today? So thanks for sticking with us here on Locked On Texas Tech, James. And anywhere you may be, wherever you are at, thank you for dialing up the show. And keep the comments coming on YouTube. And, of course, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any bonus episodes. Thanks to all of those for the submissions, and thanks for some bonus time here tonight.
Keep Chris. It coming, man, on the comments and questions, man. That's fun to have to get some interaction, man. And Cowan did a great job with the graphics on the screen there. And man, this is my comfort zone here, man.
Yeah, we got smart people out there.
Tee them up, absolutely, man.
I'm here to learn. I'm here for new perspectives. So please do keep them coming, and be advised, keep a lookout for other bonus episodes of Locked On Texas Tech, and be back here in the morning for a new episode each weekday on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. For the only Chris Level, I'm Casey Cowan. You got it. It's Locked On Texas Tech.